Compile a list of Canada's most talented rappers, and you might come up with Buck 65,
Playing with matches, bumped and bruised, dumped by the girlfriend, Satan and Santa Claus, waiting for the world's end.
Shad,
Just retired real young, y'all. Call me Jay-Z. Or maybe I just hate these crappy jobs. Call me crazy. But I refuse to work a minute.
and depending on what radio station you listen to, Ed Robertson.
It's like a dream you try to remember, but it's gone. Then you're trying to scream, but it only comes out as a yawn when you're trying to see the one beyond your front door.
Near the top of any list, however, is bound to be Rolly Pemberton, a.k.a. Cadence Weapon.
Sleeper's hand, number pillow, black hand like a Brillo. I don't spit coke rap while you gram into kilos. I was standing for real, bro. Sure, I'll house you, but I won't supply you a meal.
By age 25, he's already released 2 Polaris Prize-nominated records, been hailed as innovative with a refreshing lack of respect for convention by Q Magazine, and completed a 2-year stint as the Poet Laureate of Edmonton, Alberta. Having just recorded his 3rd studio album, Rock on Ton, set for release this spring, Cadence Weapon will be in Kingston this weekend for 2 shows at the Grad Club. I caught up with Cadence Weapon over the old-fashioned telephone to first talk about what his musical vision for Rock on Ton was while in the studio.
Well, I think my major inspiration for this record was, it came a lot from touring, because I tour a lot in between these 2 albums. And I found myself really enamored with the book Nausea by Jean-Paul Sartre. And something I read in that book, it was a reference to the main character, whose name is Antoine Racontant, and that was the name of the album, you know? And he basically, that name is also a 17th century French word that means any kind of like music that's played on gramophone back in that time that is interrupted and instantly put another record on, jarring random shifts in music. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, this is a lot like what I'm creating, you know? So that's kind of the inspiration, kind of jarring, original compositions that have a sense of ambiguity to them. The way I would put it is, I'm trying to create an ambiguity between live instrumentation and samples with this album.
Well, that was going to be my next question for you. I had read that you were inspired by early Outkast recordings where instead of just straight samples, they would have a band come in and do sort of interpolations of the samples that they wanted to use, and you had said that you wanted to take that to the next level for this record. How did you go about doing that?
Well, it was a pretty intense process. Basically, I started off with my original drafts of the beats that I just made myself in my room, and with some musicians in my neighborhood that are my friends. Take that, I went to Toronto, I started a band, and we rehearsed together and played together and refined those parts into live versions. And then I took what we did there, went into a studio, Chemical Sound in Toronto, recorded the results, and then I took that and resampled and made beats out of it. So it goes from I guess fake to real again, you know. So that's how I try to build on that, because I'm definitely really inspired, you know, by Outkast, Devin the Dude, and UGK, you know, like a lot of Southern rap is, or even West Coast rap with Dr. Dre. He does this as well, and DJ Quick. I mean, I love that idea of combining both.
Silent summers discreet about it. Got hammers in the wrist and the line to gout. I miss those kids with the rubber headbands and deadpan comedy close pin to the...
If you look back at rap albums that I consider to be classics, you know, a lot of the things they have in common is a sense of depth, you know, depth and richness to the production, you know, and it isn't, you know, not a thin, hollow sound, you know, like not something that sounds disposable or something, you know. I wanted to make something that really had took up a physical sense of space, you know, and I feel like this process really does that.
you had a 2-year stint as the poet laureate for the city of Edmonton.
Yeah.
And that, when I first heard that, I first of all thought that would be such a cool honor. And secondly, I have no idea what would be expected. Like, if it was me, I'm like, I've got some stuff in a notebook. You can have that. Did you have to shift gears at all in terms of your writing style, or were you basically just given carte blanche to do what you will?
Well, yeah, I was given carte blanche. They picked me for the position because, you know, they thought what I represented for Edmonton was, you know, a successful, creative, original artist, and I don't think it really mattered what my discipline of choice was. I think they just appreciated what I brought to the table, and ultimately, I really enjoyed my stint as poet laureate. I feel like it gave me an outlet for creative writing in a different way. It really also forced me to get more serious with my writing. I felt like I felt like I couldn't talk about light subjects. I felt like with After Party Babies, like there's a sense of humor and a lot of lightness that I was trying to approach. And with the poet laureate stuff and with some of the stuff I'm writing now, I just, you know, I'm all about even more depth and being creative, but also inherently accessible to people. Like, I don't want to be, I don't feel like being an outsider anymore. I don't feel like I am as much anymore, even if I can be kind of a weirdo.
Me and my friends ride in a beater, read The Believer, dress like a dealer of used cars, hit bars like Brick Breaker, watch me use the receiver, rep for the gift eaters, get paper like retrievers, ride in a 38-seater.
You'll be in Kingston Friday, January 27th, and this Saturday, the 28th, for back-to-back shows. Setlist-wise, how do you keep a back-to-back show set interesting for yourself?
It's always the way I do my shows now. It's me and the electronic musician, and he's called Flowchild. And basically, the way we do it, no show could ever be the same. You know, like, even though we're playing, you know, some of the same songs, I feel like the nature in which that we're presenting these beats is very original and totally experimental. So both shows are going to be kind of different. But I think anybody who goes to either one will definitely take away something interesting. And at the very least, I'll be wearing something different on Friday and Saturday.
Okay. So we at least get different pants or something.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's possible to do this, but I'm going to try and DJ. I'm going to try and DJ after that. I'm going to try and turn it into a big dance party.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's more incentive.
And last question. On your iPod or your record player or your personal music listening device of choice, what would I be stunned to see?
You'd be really surprised by a lot of things that I listen to. I've recently really gotten into an artist called Asha Bhosle, who is an Indian-born R&B singer from the 70s. Thought that's kind of weird. I have like a lot of 1930s country records that I like to listen to. I like to listen to Bob Wills, and just talking about jumping on trains and stuff. You know, like I actually kind of like that. I listen to a lot of ambient electronic music. Ambient electronic and also just pure noise, like the band Black Dice. I like that a lot.
I'll be honest, you just had me at Bob Wills. That's did not see Bob Wills coming.
Never have one girl at a time. We always have 7, 8, or 9.
Ladies, gentlemen, and listeners over the age of 19, Cadence Weapon will be in town this Friday, January 27th, and Saturday, January 28th, at the Grad Club. Tickets are $15, and local MCs Grandpa and Egyptian Prescription will be the openers for those shows. Thanks to Cadence Weapon for taking some time to talk with your old pal Benny, and keep your eyeballs and earballs open for his new record, Raconton, coming to your local record emporium this spring. For more information on Cadence Weapon, head over to the information superhighway at www.cadenceweaponmusic.com.